Hello, I am Josh, and this is Josh of All Trades. So, for this podcast, I will be talking about my year. I got here questions from ChatGPT about the past year, about 2024. And basically, this is just a recap of what happened this year, especially mga reflections ko rin from my personal journey, and at the same time, what I realized this year. Ayun. So, ang unang question dito ng ChatGPT ay, what's one personal achievement in 2024 that you're most proud of? I guess if there will be one personal achievement that I am happy na kinaya ko siyang gawin is the fact that I was able to go out there and explore life. And that is something na my past self wouldn't do. For example, earlier this year, we've been to Baguio, Isabela. I explored Metro Manila with some of my friends as well na iba-ibang travel naman yon. And ayun, I think it is really an achievement for me to do those things considering na ako yung tao na kailangan ko ng plan for things that will happen in my life. But then just going out of my comfort zone and just going out of the schedule that I have for my life or for my day or for my month, ayun. So that alone is, I think, a personal achievement. The next question is, did you surprise yourself with any unexpected skills or habits you picked up this year? I guess the most surprising thing about me is that I actually believe na kaya ko mag-drawing. Ayun. So, it was something na hindi ko masyadong pinag-focusan dati kasi I really felt like there are other people that are, better than me. And I mentioned in my past podcast that I grew up as a competitive person. So, if there is one thing na parang, oh, meron ng may-ari niyan, aalis na ako doon. Parang ganun. So, after my graduation, I really find time for me to uh, tap into this, I think, talent wow, that I have. Here are some of my sample works. And nakakatuwa kasi it has become also a form of rest for me during that time. But then, nung naging busy na naman ako, medyo natigil ko na naman siya. But still, uh, especially ngayon din, kailangan ko rin siguro to find time to draw some things, ganun. Kasi I really believe that kapag hino-hone mo yung isang bagay, it will really be a talent. And that's one thing that we can explore sa life, kung ano yung mga talents natin, etc. So yeah. The next question here is that how did your mindset or perspective change in 2024? I believe that this year is the best and at the same time the worst year because of some circumstances. Let's just say that. Ito yung taon na parang April or May pa lang, ang dami na nangyayari sa buhay ko. And I was like, I want this year na matapos na, ganyan. Siguro it has given me the opportunity to really know myself on how I respond to different pressures in life. And not only in life, even directly. So, later, siguro maikukwento ko yan. So, ayun siguro. So, that's one thing. Yung mindset siguro, if it is for you, it will happen. One of the things that I have learned to embrace this year is what is meant for you will make its way to you. As someone na talaga nagpaplano kasi, di ba? Ayun yung isa sa mga parang mahirap tanggapin na kapag okay, wala, kailangan sure ko. Ganun yung parang mindset ko dati. But then, this year taught me to trust on the process, trust on the things that are meant for you, and ayun, it will happen if it is for you. The next question here is, if you had to describe your 2024 in one word, what would it be and why? Perhaps that would be a roller coaster. Una, nasabi ko kanina na parang start pa lang ng taon, ang dami na nangyayari. And some of my closest friends know what are happening in the background as I do all of these things. Some of my students always say that ang dami kong ginagawa, parang ang dami kong na-achieve, especially this year. Lately I met some of my former students, and ayun yung mga sinasabi nila na parang, wow, comeback is real, mga ganon. Kasi they also saw me in my lowest point in life this year. So, ayun. So, nakita rin talaga nila yung how I managed to go from something na sobrang baba ng energy, sobrang lugmok, kumbaga, to someone na nagta-thrive sa kung saan-saan. Ayun. So, kaya siya roller coaster kasi when I started the year, it is really hard na agad. Kasi kailangan kong mag-set up para sa thesis ko. I've spent a lot of money for my master's thesis. Then nagkaroon ng conflict, and then ang dami nangyari. Then, luckily, I graduated from my master's. Ang dami pa rin nangyari after nun. So, ganun siya. Like, ang daming nangyari until last month, ang dami pa rin nangyari about that certain issue na yon. I will not say it here in this podcast, but I know that if some of my students will listen, they will know kung ano yung sinasabi ko to. And siguro ayun yung isa sa mga nagpa-roller coaster kasi it really pulled me down. You know, I was told that I didn't learn anything from my masters. I was told that I'm not good. I was told a lot of things. But then I really, just stood my ground, stand with my beliefs and and the ethics that I know that is also right. So ayun, nakatapos naman ako. Nakatapos naman ako doon. Pero yeah, if there's one thing siguro na natutunan ko from that, it's I just learned deeper kung paano ako mag-respond sa stress. And that is through KTV. Pero yeah, I have a lot of friends na dati like tinatawag ko, tara mag-KTV, blah, blah, blah. Ayun. So, ayun yung parang naging coping mechanism ko during that time. Ayun. And if there is one lesson that I will carry into 2025, that would be trusting the process. Mahirap talaga yung process, but then if you just adapt dun sa process na yun, whether that is hard or not, it will happen for you. It will happen. Ayun. And considering that I have also plans for next year, I know that I have a lot of things na kailangan kong i-remind yung sarili ko na I need to trust the process. So, ang next na question naman ni ChatGPT is professional and career wins. Ayan. So, sabi niya dito, what was the biggest milestone you reached professionally in 2024? So, this is one thing na na-realize ko lang recently when some of my students are actually saying it to me na, oh my gosh, if I will look back sa 2024, I've been to 5 international conferences and I was able to present 10 of my papers. And aside from that, I was able to, publish a lot this year despite what has happened from my masters. Parang ang dami nangyari nun. And I even have some of my mentors comment na parang hindi namin halatang nakaka-apekto sa'yo yung issue na yon kasi napaka-productive mo pa rin. And I felt like that is actually my response. That is my coping mechanism. Now, whenever I feel stressed, I find other things that will be more valuable for me and at the same time, closer to my heart, to the causes that I really stand for. And ayun, doon ko tinutuon yung pansin ko na, okay, kahit na meron ganun, kinaya ko pa rin na mag-publish ng marami, mag-present ng marami, and to participate with a lot of conferences. And participating in conferences is really a big experience, especially for me that I really want to learn from others as well. So I was also able to build connections from those conferences, and those are valuable connections, that I could use also moving forward in my career. So yeah, you can join conferences kapag meron kayo opportunity to do so. Join conferences. Okay. So next, can you share a project or accomplishment that stood out for you this year? Absolutely, this will be the Microgreens project. The Microgreens project is just a small project that we started last March, but then we are doing a lot of things about it ever since yung official na recognition ng project na to sa UPLB. It is really close to my heart because Microgreens is my topic when I was an undergraduate. And when I was doing my undergraduate thesis, I just know that if there is one thing that I would like to do in the future, it is translating this knowledge or giving this knowledge to the communities. And that is what this project is all about. In just, I think, 4 months since its inception, grabe na yung diversity ng people that we are catering to. So we were able to share knowledge sa mga students. We also did programs for solo parents, for PWDs, for community gardeners, senior citizens, moms. So ang dami nang nangyari. And this initiative, I was able to also present in an international conference. Ang parang topic namin doon is to bridge multi-generations together. And I'm happy that I am a part of this project. Ang kapartner ko doon sa project na yon, ang project leader namin ay si Ma'am Timmy Mercado, an assistant professor sa UPLB. And then, ayun, nakakatuwa lang din that we were able to also rally different colleges and fields together. We partnered with the College of Development Communication, also with the College of Human Ecology. So ayun, nakakatawa that we were able to do this. Sabi ni ChatGPT, if you could give January 2024 you one piece of advice about work, what would it be? Siguro ano siya, continue to know why you're doing this. Kasi ayun yung nagsustain sa akin. Noong nangyayari yung issue this year, at the same time, I was also teaching. I think it reflects. Pero I see teaching as a form of rest. So kapag nasa classroom ako, I feel like I am just storytelling, explaining this various scientific concepts like a story. So, ganun yung parang nangyari sa akin. And because kapag titignan mo siya na parang, okay, alam ko kasi kung ba't ko ginagawa 'to. I really want to share knowledge. I really want to empower the next generation. So those are some of the things that I'm really passionate about. Kahit ano pa yung things na nandoon sa plate mo during that time, I think na hindi siya ganun magiging ka-noticeable. Pero syempre, dahil sa sobrang intense noong nangyari, may mga times na nanonotice din ng mga students ko. They were also witnesses ng mga ilan sa mga ganap doon. Ganon. As in, kaya alam nila yan. Anyway, let's go to the next section dito sa ChatGPT, which is yung memorable experiences. So, what was your favorite trip, event, or experience this year? That would be just recently yung sa Davao because this is the first time that I flew na ako lang mag-isa. Hindi siya as in super planned na 2 months ago, ganyan-ganyan. Parang nag-book lang ako ng mga tutulayan, etc. the week before the trip mismo. So, nakakatuwa siya kasi I went there for a conference pero pumunta ako na mas maaga and nag-extend pa ako ng later. I really didn't expect that I will meet new people there. Pero ayun, thank you to my good friend Aliyah na sinamahan ako during my trip sa Davao. Nakakatuwa siya kasi I was able to really rest. And that's when I know na I just need a peaceful place. And yung peaceful na yun, I think for me, it has already evolved. Kasi dati, ang idea ko ng peaceful is nature. Ang idea ko ng peaceful ay, okay, kailangan walang mga cars, etc. But at this point in my life, it is kind of weird na I really find rest whenever I am in noisy places, yung mga cities, ganyan. So, doon ako nakakapag-rest. Kasi meron akong anonymity, di ba? So, here kasi sa LB, parang feeling ko, bawat labas ko, meron akong makikitang kilala ko. Pero kapag nandun ka sa city, parang ang gandang maglahad, ang gandang mag-muni-muni kung saan-saan. Kasi wala naman nakakilala sa'yo doon. Ayun yung na-enjoy ko sa Davao na even though I am traveling solo, defying gravity. Ano, na-enjoy ko siya kasi I got to spend time with myself as well. So was there any moment this year that felt like it was straight out of a movie? Yes. Yes na lang. Yes, of course. Yung nangyari sa akin noong I feel like earlier this year, parang nag-ano siya, nag-compile lahat from different aspects of my life, yung mga problem, to the point na parang sabi ko, ala, ano lang nangyayari? Parang ano na lang ako, parang lumulutang na lang ako. So, I feel like that is one instance ng life ko na sobrang bigat niya, na pwede siyang maging drama. Ganun. Who are the people that made your 2024 extra special and why? There are a lot of people na I can say na really made my 2024 special. Lalo na yung mga friends that are with me in my lowest point. And I really appreciate them na they were able to witness yung lowest point ko, and at the same time they are also there during my wins. So these are people that I really want to keep and I'm really thankful for. And another set of people that really made my 2024 special are my students. Sabi ni ChatGPT, what was the most challenging moment of your 2024 and how did you overcome it? I already mentioned a glimpse of this kanina, pero ayun, siguro how I overcome it, I just actually may time talaga na parang umiinom lang ako every day habang gumagawa ng thesis and nagki-KTV kami. So siguro ayun yung isa sa mga naging coping mechanism ko, singing. Kasi I have this friend, Edray, shout out, na parang may time dati na almost every other day yata kami nagki-KTV. Gumagawa kasi kami ng work habang nagki-KTV. So, dalawa kami. So, salitan lang kami. Kapag kakanta siya, okay, mag-work ako. Kapag ako naman kakanta, mag-work naman siya, ganyan. So, I think that's one thing na ginawa ko para ma-overcome yun. Para to live with that. And in terms of the technical stuff, I just stood my ground. I know that I am in the right position. I know that I followed ethics, etc. So I stood with it. And all of the people na naka-witness nun, even professionals that are outside of our campus, ayun, ako yung pinanigan nila. So, ayun, I was validated by that. Yeah. So how did you take care of yourself mentally and emotionally this year? Siguro nangyari na lang 'to after siguro after nung graduation siguro. Actually, may stress pa nung after graduation, but then, siguro months after na, I was able to have my rest by watching different series, watching movies, and, getting that sleep. Ayun yung parang kulang sa akin sa unang half ng year na hindi ako nakakatulog ng maayos. As in, parang uuwi ako ng 12, parang gano'n. Tapos, nagigising ako 6, tapos papasok ulit ako, etc. So, that's unhealthy. Kaya binawi ko siya ngayon. And I started my PhD rin kasi this year. And nung kumukuha ko ng 3 units ng PhD this semester, ayun, mas nakapag-rest ako actually. And I really love what I am studying right now. I am taking management course and sobrang interesting ng subject namin and yung topics. Kaya yeah, I really love management. If you could change one thing about 2024, what would it be? Sabi ni ChatGPT. I guess I would not change anything kasi kahit na I can change the yung tao, o joke. Anong tawag dito? I wouldn't change anything kasi I feel like I've grown so much this year. I have learned kung sino yung mga tao that are really there genuinely to support me and to watch my journey. I was able to pinpoint those persons now, and I was able to experience a lot of things. I got to meet a lot of people, and at the same time, ang dami ko natutunan talaga this year in every area of my life, if that makes sense. Kaya yun, I wouldn't change anything about 2024. And this was a year na parang ang dami kong tinanim and hinarvest din this year. So for example, my initiative has turned into a national youth serving organization this year. We have started organizing or the structure ng org. Then we had a lot of milestones actually. This is Proud of Philippines. I was just with two of my former students who are now a part of the initiative, and we are planning a lot of things for 2025. And nakakatuwa that those youth that I have met years ago, months ago from my classes, they're really willing to do these initiatives with me. Nakakatuwa lang din kasi kanina noong pauwi na, parang sabi ng student ko na isa, si Ana, sabi niya parang, Sir, nakaka-excite po yung sprout up nyo, sabi niya gano'n. And I was like, no, sprout up natin. And if there's one thing that I would want for sprout up for the next years, it is that it will not just be my initiative, but it will be the initiative of more people, especially the youth, who really want to showcase what agriculture really is. So this is a memorable year. It is the best and the worst year of my life. So yeah, cheers. Malapit na matapos ang podcast na ito. Did you start any passion projects or creative ventures in 2024? This podcast is one thing na talagang gusto kong gawin dati pa. But then, sabi ko ganun, I really love, documenting things, etc. And I actually had YouTube channels before. Pero, ayun, medyo cringe. Yung mga iba, like mga travel-travel kunwari, ganyan. Pero, yeah, this is something that I really want to do dati pa. And I feel like this can go somewhere then. Yan. So, ang gusto ko lang dito talaga is for some of my former students and also young generation na pwede nilang marinig tong podcast na to, and then they will just have a comforting voice kahit na random lang yung mga minsan mga sinasabi ko, ganyan. So, ayun. And of course, I will tackle different topics then na about my growth then kapag meron siguro mga problems, etc., setbacks. Ayun. So I will also try to document all of those things and reflect. So, ito, nakakatawa to. What's a song, movie, or trend that defined your 2024? I believe that lahat na yan, song, movie, or trend. Song, it's Defying Gravity from the movie Wicked. And I knew that song ever since I was in grade 8, I guess, 8 or 9. But then, when I watched the movie this year, doon ko lang nakita yung like the whole meaning of it. Kung paano na yung song na yun is a story of someone who is an outcast, someone who just really wants to be seen. And I was able to relate to Alphaba dun sa movie kasi sabi ko kanina, I was told that I didn't learn anything from my masters. I was told that I was wrong. I was told that I'm not good enough. But then, look at me now. I am defying gravity, something like that. So, it's a metaphor of just going beyond what the world tells you. And it's also a battle cry. It is also a shout for confidence. It is a shout for freedom. Now I'm true accepting limits. I am limitless. I am unlimited. So those are some of the things na na-realize ko na, oh my gosh, ito yung 2024 ko. When I read this um, question, sabi ko na, it's defying gravity. And to end this medyo long non-podcast is, if you could relive one day or moment from 2024, what would it be? I guess this would be the day when I presented Sprout Up Movement, which is my initiative in an international conference. I was able to present it, and I even got the attention of the director of CIRCA. He mentioned that he liked the presentation on Sprout Up Movement. During that conference, I was competing for the best paper. But then I just know that I will not win this because this is a highly technical conference. And I have this study, which is more of a passion project, and I presented data from the things that I am doing to Sprout Up, from how the youth perceive agriculture and what are their intentions in pursuing agriculture in the first place. So those are some of the things that I discussed there. So I just know na hindi ako mananalo doon, even I was there. But then I am happy dun sa nangyari noon kasi I was able to introduce this brought up movement in an international platform. Nakakatawa kasi when I was leaving the venue, I jumped into the elevator, and then some foreigners who are also participants of the event also went inside. And during that time, one of them poked me and said, "In our table, you were the winner." And that really means so much to me kasi this is something that I'm really passionate about. And nakakatuwa na makita yung appreciation ng people from other countries as well. So it's somehow a mixture. Some of them are from, I think, African countries. Some of them are also from Southeast Asia. And ayun, wala, nakakatawa lang to see that my work is being appreciated by different nations. So, ayun. The next question is, what surprised you most about how this year unfolded? Ayun, nakaka-surprise din that I was able to, surpass all of those challenges this year. And marami sila. Yeah. Ayun, siguro ayun na lang siya. What are three words that summarize your biggest takeaways from the year? Three words. Mission, perseverance, bouncing back. Hindi yung three words. Basta yun, that's the thought. So, mission, perseverance, bouncing back. And the last question for this podcast is, looking ahead to 2025, what's one goal or dream you're excited to pursue? I have a lot of plans for 2025, and I am excited if the plans that I have set for myself will be manifested next year. And yeah, if there's one thing na gusto kong gawin talaga next year, it's to teach. And I will be doing that earlier next year as I start my stint as a lecturer sa UP Manila. Ayun. So, siguro just doing that and seeing kung mag-unfold ba yung mga things na pinlan ko for next year. I guess that's it. This is actually a good podcast. So it's time for the trade tip of the day. For this episode, the trade tip is to learn to live in the moment. A lot of times, mahirap siyang gawin. But then, one thing that I've realized, especially this year, is to live with the people that are around you at the moment. For example, just staying with each other and also having those moments together because you will not know if alis na sila. So, ayun, living in the moment, showing up for people around you. If there's a great portion of my 2024, ayun yun, na I can say that I spent 2024 with the valuable people that I have in my life. So, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for listening dito sa podcast na to and see you next week. Bye.